JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo, angat tayo.
The next president of the SSG, Josiah Benedict D. Maraon.
Ang susunod na Pangulo ng SSG, Josiah Benedict D. Maraon.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. You can now sit down. Friends, family, candidates, my fellow students, and my fellow Filipinos. Today, at this nice, warm Wednesday morning or afternoon, today we launch an extensive campaign to bring back this school, to bring back the life it has been pre-COVID-19, when the world drew to a large financial breakdown and financial meltdown. I gave to you my belief of government. I am giving you today an extensive look at me, my team, and their ideas. My candidates are as strong as the wind can blow, and they will be persistent even if I am president, or even if I'm not. Today I ask you for your vote, your confidence, and your strong and stable ideas, so that together we can move our school forward for everyone. Today we begin with a big thank you. Thank you to the hundreds, or to the four people who came near to me. Thank you to the mere supporters that have supported me since day one. Let me tell you this. I am not a man of different convictions. I am a man of my own convictions. I am a man who thinks for himself, for his country, for his society, and most importantly, for his world. I am a man who believes in freedom and the basic idea of democracy. I am a man who believes in the strength of our democratic facilities and our democratic exercises as a right by every student to be shared all over the world. Our school is at a moment of both great pride and great harm. It is true that we have a ISO certified school, and we must be all proud of that. But how can we have an ISO certified school when we believe and we know and we feel it that we have become more depressed since the pandemic began. Together with additional subjects, additional work, too long, the student government has remained silent. Silent in the wilderness of politics. Silent in the wilderness of ideas for our school. I want my presidency will be the most active student government presidency ever. How? We will build an action plan to get our school into a more safer, more strategic standpoint to build back better from the pandemic. How? Vaccine mandates. When vaccines become available in general use for students, especially for the age bracket 12 to 17, which by the way are already happening with those with comorbidities. I promise to you, I will officially ask for an opening of classes to the principal and to the entire student teacher council. I will also reform the SSG. Major reforms on how the SSG is run, the coordinations, and the task forces we should build. Anti-drug, mental health, those are just some of the task forces we will do. We will cooperate with all clubs in securing a ligtas balik eskwela for our fellow students. We will pass an FOI bill. An FOI that will say all money made by clubs, classroom officers, and the SSG should be released to the public, sa mga tao, hindi sa akin, hindi sa kanila, hindi sa club lamang, sa lahat ng tao through social media. There we are accountable, and we can see accountability as it fits for people who betray the trust of the public. We also want a green balik eskwela. My plan will reconfigure how we put the trash from classroom to an MRF facility, which will help to balance our beliefs or our ways to segregate. We also believe at ensuring that we are part of the solution, to not raise carbon emissions, but to cut carbon emissions. In my presidency, we will kickstart a journey towards 100% renewable energy for a green school. Friends, and lastly, let's focus on healthcare. Let's focus on healthcare. Healthcare is a big part of, regardless of the next government's agenda. It is part of the SSG, and it will remain part of the SSG. Now, how? We will create and we will give money so that individual classrooms can buy their own medicines. We will also, right now in a pandemic, focus on mental health campaigns, telling the students that they are valuable and they are safe in their hands. If we are also wanting a student, parent, teachers agreement so that the students' Bill of Rights can be upheld and must be upheld in our school if we really want a progressive and valuable school. Thank you. Now, Mr. Roque and I, we both disagree on a lot of things. We both disagree on FOI. For example, Mr. Roque believes that if we secretly hide everything, how we both agree that we should have a campaign on mental health. But the issue here is, how will you have a campaign on mental health if students cannot even trust their own government? So Mr. Roque is again wrong. Mr. Roque, again, wrongly believes that if we just do not reconfigure it, that we will be pessimistic. And how will students say, and how will they say, tinulungan ako ng kapwa ko estudyante? Let's remember, this generation is built to help each and every one of us. Community service. The SSG itself, founded in the belief of community service. Mr. Roque is out of touch with reality. Mr. Roque is out of touch with the ideas surrounding the SSG. Mr. Roque is blind on the ideas of the SSG. Community service, helping other people, strengthening each other. That is the way the student government should operate. Now, Mr. Roque is a fine man. He's a competent man. But I don't think he is the right man to lead our school into the recovery and build back better on the ideas we are founded on, we are believed on, we fight for in these past few days. Mr. Roque simply believes that if we have a very secret hole, kung yung mga tao lamang na nasa SSG and the surrounding clubs and off-club officers can look at it, they'll be fine. What is democracy then? For the few. Right? We're not a democracy if that's who we are. We're never a democracy kung ganyan lang pala ang ginagawa natin. Dapat we should be accountable to the people whilst we are defending ourselves. Kaya nga may FOI tayo. That's why we are fighting for an FOI bill to be passed in the SSG. Mr. Roque believes that if we don't refurbish, if we don't have a master plan to return back to normal, if you don't have a master plan to return back to normal, everything will be fine. Really, he said that. He said that. If we don't have a master plan, that's fine. We'll go back to normal. Easy peasy. Let me tell you. That's why we got to discuss in the first place. It's because people like him downplayed how we need to recover from a pandemic, a raging pandemic, a deadly pandemic. Mr. Roque has been out of touch with reality for a big while already. We cannot trust Mr. Roque to lead our school moving forward, because he will not be an active president. And I even quite mentioned that he doesn't even have a plan to call a meeting with class year presidents. Now, he will call me a man who is just a tag, who is young. Well, yes, I'm young. Yes, I have ambitious plans because that's what needs to our school to move forward with Gen Z leadership and with bold and active messages for Gen Z to fight for in our next generation. And Mr. Roque, don't get me started on FOI. You are the man who says we need transparency in government. We need to have people to know their government is for them. How will the people know their government is for them when they cannot even know where the government spends their money? Mr. Roque, I ask you, how will you build back better from the pandemic? How will you succeed on helping our fellow students? Mr. Roque simply believes that it's time to just stop. We need ambitious plans. I am that man who can lead an ambitious school. Because if we are ambitious, we can succeed. And if we succeed, we can be doable. Yan ang aking paniniwala. Ngayon, may choice kayo. May simpleng choice ang kakaharapin natin. It's either we move forward na may tamang paniniwala, na may presidente kung saan panata tayo, na makikinig siya sa atin, ang kanyang gobyerno ay makikinig sa atin, o panata tayo na hindi kikilos ang gobyerno. Friends, kailangan kumilos tayo, tumindig tayo dahil panahon na ng pagbabago. Mga kaibigan, pinapakilala ko po ang aking mga kandidato para sa mga posisyon sa SSG. Si Joven Mendoza, isang dating pangulo ng isang classroom at ngayon isa ring muling pangulo. Siya po ay may paninindigan na kailangan lahat ng tao pantay-pantay. Naniniwala po siya na dapat may mga services sa training para sa mga kapwa niya kabataan upang mag-cope sa pandemyang ito. Si Joven, isa pong taong maaasahan natin. Si Jeremy. Si Jeremy, isang kandidato natin for auditor. Matalino, may husay, magaling. Si Jeremy po ay isa sa mga kandidatong akin pong pinaniniwalaan. Magaling mag-audit, alam ko anong tama at mali. Mga kaibigan, sana po ihalal po natin si Jeremy Salud. Si Sebastian Luis Ariola, para naman sa Public Information Officer. Si Baste, magaling, matalinong leader. Katulad ko, kaya niya rin magsalita ng mahaba-haba. Kaya niya magbigay ng mga press conferences. Nakatulad nito. Katulad ko, matapang din. Si Baste Ariola po, kasama nyo sa pag-unlad. At syempre naman po, si Sharina Rey. Kasama ko sa aking church, magaling na tao para magpatahimik ng ating eskwelahan. Kasangga natin sa kapayapaan, kasama natin sa kapayapaan, kasangga ng mga nag-aaway, si Sharina Rahim po, kasama natin sa pagbabago. Ang apat na kandidato ko pong isinabi, kasama ang aking sarili, ang dapat ninyo pong iboto sa darating na halalan. Tiyak po ako, sila po kasama natin sa pag-unlad. Tiyak po tayo, sila po kasama natin sa pag-angat. Tiyak po tayo, ako po kasama sila. Aangat tayo. sa tunay na pagbabago. Mga kaibigan, inuulit ko po, ako po, si Josiah Maraon, kandidato, Pilipino, kabataan, kumakandidato para sa pagkapangulo ng ating paaralan. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Kay JB, lalo na puso sa JB tayo, magaling siya na leader. Angat tayo kay JB, isa sa atin kay JB. Angat tayo, lalo na puso sa JB tayo, magaling siya na leader. Aangat tayo kay JB, isa sa atin kay JB. Aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo. Angat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo. Angat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo kay JB, aangat tayo. Angat tayo. Sinong ating Pangulo?